With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
Hello everyone, let's start the question. The question says that prove that the orthocenter of the triangle formed by any three tangents to a parabola lies on the directrix of the parabola. Okay, so first let the equation of the parabola be y square equal to 4ax. Okay, so we know if this is our parabola, then the tangent to the parabola are given by what? Let the three tangent be, let the three tangents be A, B and C. A, B and C. Then equation of A is given by what? Parametric equation of this tangent is AT1 square comma 281. We know that. Similarly, equation of tangent 2 will be what? AT2 square 282. C equation will be given by 8t3 square and 283. Okay, so these are our three tangents. Okay, so where we know where t1, t2, t3 are the parameters, are parameters. Okay, now what we will do, we will just try to find out their point of intersection. Okay, so first let us find out point of intersection of A and B. So let the point of intersection of A and B be P. Let P be the point of intersection of A and B. Then P is given by what? Solving these two, what we will get? A T1 T2 comma A T1 plus T2. Okay, if you put in either of the equation, we'll get this point only. Okay, so this is the point of intersection of A and B. Similarly, so similarly, point of intersection of B and C, let it be Q. Okay, so it will be what? B and C, so it will be what? A T2 T3 A times T2 plus T3, correct? And also point of intersection of C and A, let it be R. So it will be given by what? A T1 T3 comma A T1 plus T3. So these are our points of intersection of those three tangents. Now this PQR will form a triangle, and then we have to show that orthocenter of that triangle lies on the directrix of the parabola. Okay, so here what basically we will get, so we'll get one triangle here. Okay, and their points will be PQR, which are the point of intersection of the three tangents to the parabola. Okay, and we know what is orthocenter, that is basically the point of intersection of what? Altitudes. So let's say this is my first altitude and this is my second altitude, and similarly we can have the third altitude, and their point of intersection is nothing but our orthocenter. So this thing to we know now what we can do. So altitude means what? It will be perpendicular. Okay, so these are the three perpendiculars, and point of intersection, let's call it as O, which will be our orthocenter. Okay, now you see what we can do now. if we want to find out slope of QR, slope of line QR, so let's find out slope of QR. It will be what? Slope of QR, if I am trying to find it out. So it will be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. We know y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So let's say this is x2 y2 and this is our x1 y1. Okay, so what you will get, a times t1 plus t3, which is y2 minus y1. So it will be what? T2 plus t3. Okay, divided by x2 minus x1 means what? A t1 t3 minus a t2 t3. So solving it further, what we'll get? You see, this a t3 plus a t3 and minus a t3 will get cancelled. So we are just left with a t1 minus a t2. We are left with a t1 minus t2. And in denominator, what is common here? A t3 is common. A t3 is common, and we are left with what? T1 minus T2. T1 minus T2. So you see, a T1 minus T2 will get cancelled. Okay. So we are just left with 1 upon T3. So that is our slope. So slope of QR is 1 upon T3, and we know altitude from P is perpendicular to slope of QR. So altitude from P, slope will be what? Minus of T3. Okay. So I can write that slope of altitude from P, it will be what? Negative reciprocal, since they are perpendicular to QR. So it will be just minus of T3. And now we can write out the equation of altitude. Okay, so equation of this altitude, equation of altitude from P, its equation will be what? We know its equation in generalized form of the equation is given by what? Y minus y1 upon x minus x1 into the slope. Okay, slope we got it as what? Minus t3. So what is our y1 and x1? Just we have to see. Okay, so you see point P, y1 is what? A times t1 plus t2 divided by x minus x1 is a t1 t2, correct, is equal to minus t3, which is the slope. Now what we have to do, we need to just solve these equations. So what will we get? Y minus a times of t1 plus t2 is equal to, what you will get here? Minus t3x plus a t1 t2 t3. Now t3x minus t3x bring to left hand side, you will get y plus t3x equal to, y plus t3x is equal to a t1 plus t2, okay, plus a t1 t2 t3, a t1 t2 t3. So this is our equation 1. Let's call it as equation 1. Okay, now what we'll get? Similarly, slope, if you want to find altitude from Q, okay, slope of altitude from Q, so for that will be perpendicular to PR. Okay, so if we try to find slope of PR, similarly, I'm not going to do that rigorous calculation. So similarly, slope of what? That PR, slope of QR is what? 1 upon T3. So slope of PR will be what? you see Q and R. Q and R. Slope was T3. 1 upon T3. So slope of P and R will be what? 1 upon T1. Getting it or not? So it will be 1 upon T1. You can check the calculation. Okay. So slope of altitude from Q, which is perpendicular to PR, altitude from Q perpendicular, so its slope will be minus of T1. It will be minus T1. So equation of this altitude will be what? Equation of this altitude will be what? Which is from Q. So it will be given by again y minus y1 over x minus x1 times slope, that is minus of T1. Since the altitude is from Q, so y minus y1, it will be a T2 plus T3. So you will get y minus a T2 plus T3 equal to minus of T1 and x minus x1. So x minus our x1 will be what? A T2 T3. A T2 T3. So solving, what I'll get? Y plus T1x equals to a T2 plus T3 and plus a T1 T2 T3. Okay, and their point of intersection is just the orthocenter, since they are the altitudes. Okay, so now what I'm going to evaluate, I'm just going to solve this equation 1 minus of 2. So you see y and y will get cancelled. You are just getting x times T3 minus T1, and here what you will get? A T1, A T2, A82 will get cancelled. I'm just left with a times T1 minus T3, correct? And here what you will get? A T1 T2 T3 will get cancelled, so we are just left with 0. Now you see this will go minus 1 times. So I'm getting x is equal to minus a, which is nothing but the directrix of the parabola, and x is what? Their point of intersection of what? The altitude. So that means that is the orthocenter. So orthocenter lies on the directrix of the parabola. Thank you.
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut app today.